Hello and welcome to Endurance, your weekly spiritual workout. This week's episode we are focusing on remembrance, as it is Remembrance Sunday. Stephen will be looking at remembrance and explaining not just why we celebrate remembrance, but also how that relates to the Bible and also Jesus' sacrifice on the cross, which is very interesting. Obviously, if you want to keep up to date with all that we produce, including Endurance, you can sign up to our newsletter by going to www.berrybunch.family.
God will often speak through other people, but be wary when they lead with that. #Speak Truth.
Well, hello there, this is Andy and Joe from the Berry Bunch, and we wanted to talk to you a little bit about who we are and where we are going as a ministry, which is kind of exciting. So we are far more than just the 5 people you will frequently see on your screens, whether that's mobiles, laptops, tablets or TVs, whatever. We're all over the place with social medias, but we are far bigger than just the 5 of us. Actually, we are part of a massive family who support the Berry Bunch and make it happen from all around the world, including Tibet. I was quite surprised by that. Tibet, North America, all over the place. Scotland, who knew? Cool. Essex in England. We're English too, so that kind of counts. Where we got Finland.
Wow.
Norway. There's people who are part of this from far afield, so it's not just about us 5 people.
Yeah.
And we actually have something called the Council of Elrond, which is a group of people who help advise the Berry Bunch ministry because it's much bigger than we are.
Yeah, and if you'd like to support us and get involved, there are 3 things we were thinking that you could do. You can share or like what we do.
Super important.
Yeah, and get in touch with us, encourage us, and tell us what you think. You can financially support us if you felt that was right. We do have supporters that support us that way, because
And
obviously
we've got PayPal or Patreon.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can pay in different ways, and we have people who do that because obviously we want to provide this for free
Buying our
for
books.
all, and buy the books as well.
Cheesy.
Yeah, because there's nothing worse than going to a website and you want to get something and you have to then pay for it. There's these like paywalls that get in the way, aren't there? We're not going to do that, not here at Berry Bunch. And the last thing that you could do, and I think the most important, is to pray.
Always the biggest thing you can do is to pray for what we're doing. We've seen some amazing opportunities, some massive miracles that God's done for our ministry and for this ministry that's actually extending all around the globe, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
From a little bedroom one time that's grown. So yeah, become part of the Berry Bunch family community. We will talk back to you. Not at you, but with you. It's always good. But yeah, get involved, get in touch, and become part of the community and what God is doing through this thing that He has honoured us with doing, which is awesome.
So here we are for another Go Deeper with me, Stephen. And this week, of course, is Remembrance Sunday, or Poppy Sunday, as you can see from this. So we're looking, so we remember, obviously, everyone who died during World War I and World War II, defending the freedoms of this nation. But I understand that it's not the same every country. So lots of the Commonwealth and France and Belgium, obviously they celebrate it, but we have viewers around the world. So I think it's the equivalent of Veterans Day in the United States, which is somewhere around March. But it's around 11th of November we celebrate remembrance. Everyone wears poppies to remember what people have done in fighting for our freedoms, not just in World War I and World War II, but also in other conflicts. And still today, people are still fighting. And there's 2 scriptures that are commonly used, which I think are just brilliant for this. John 15:13 says this: "No one has greater love than this, to lay down his life for his friends." And also Galatians 5:1, "For freedom Christ has set us free. Stand then firm and don't submit again to the yoke of slavery." 2 brilliant scriptures on the subject of remembrance. So obviously remember everyone in World War II and World War I who defended this country and the freedom that we have and we still have today. So we're sort of grateful for that and we reflect on that. But also, I think we should remember what people are still doing today in conflicts and whatnot. But also, people like Wilberforce, who also brought about freedom in abolishing slavery in 1800s or something. And there are loads of people like that who have brought about freedom in different ways, more than just in fighting in battles, but also in legal and courts and politics, to bring us so much freedom today. And sometimes it can be a bit unsure, because I know there's a lot of preachers who have been arrested for preaching the gospel on the streets, but each of them have won a victory because of organizations like Christian Concern and stuff like that. So we still have that freedom, and it's still being fought for today, and we should remember and think about that. And ultimately remember the sacrifice that Jesus Christ made for us on the cross. So obviously we have committed crimes against God, whether in our actions, inactions, thoughts, or conversation. We have all committed crimes against God, and God doesn't want to punish us for those crimes, so he sent his son to die on the cross for us, and therefore we no longer have to face that punishment. All we have to do is call out to God, and he will give us forgiveness. How cool is that? And obviously that is what inspired so many people who have fought for our freedoms over the years, the sacrifice that Jesus paid. And I think it should inspire us also to fight for freedom for other people, to stand up against what's wrong, even if it costs us, because it cost Jesus an awful lot, and he did it for us. So let's be inspired by that and encouraged by that, and let's stand up even when it costs us, just like so many people have done before us. That is Remembrance Sunday.
Family prayer time. So what is it, Peter?
Well, it's where me and Mum, or Joe, we find a subject for a prayer, so maybe the psalm or a country, and then we pray as we feel led. And Bob's your uncle.
It's excellent. Yeah, absolutely. It's family prayer time. Me and Pete pray together, and we'd like you to pray as a family. So join us for family prayer time.
I was asked to record a video and write a book by a friend. He'd seen so many people with broken dreams, just hopeless about life they were living and the life before them. So I wrote a book. It's my very first book. It's called Broken Dreams and Hope. It's based on my own life, some struggles that I've had, and the fact that through those struggles, however bad they were, whether they were caused by me or caused against me, throughout all of that, there was still hope. Let me just read a few things that people who've read this book already have said. It's a page turner, with each chapter leaving you wanting to read just one more. You gave the reader motivation to look up and grab the hand that can lift you up on your feet and walk you through life's muddy mire. And I love the way you spoke of hurt and abuse, but never going into details that would have robbed the reader of their own inward pains and ability to take hold of the Lord's extended hand, the hand that will never let go. Broken Dreams and Hope is a book I wrote because I know what it is to have broken dreams. I know what it is to feel hopeless. But I also know what it is to have hope, because that hope has a name, and that name is Jesus Christ.
So that was a very good talk, Stephen, and I think, to be honest, this week is probably one of our more solemn episodes.
I should hope so, yeah.
As we acknowledge the service of those who fought and died in the First and Second World Wars.
And many after that.
And many after that, yeah. I mean, obviously, Remembrance Sunday, we don't just remember those in the Second World War, but everyone has given their lives over the past 100 years or so in the military.
Yeah, I think it was this year we had the 40-year anniversary of the Falklands conflict,
Oh, yes.
and there were quite a few casualties there.
And there are many other conflicts as well. So I was wondering, Stephen, do you know the significance of the red poppy?
Off the top of my head, there was a field where a battle was or something, and there were lots of poppies in this particular field or something. Actually, I don't know. I should know, but I don't.
Yes, well, there were many red poppies that grew in fields where there had been battle. I believe it was the Battle of the Somme. Lots of poppies grew in the field where that took place.
Ah.
Yeah. Obviously, we do need to remember Jesus' sacrifice on the cross. You mentioned that. I think that's really, really significant.
Absolutely. I think it's what inspired a lot of people who went to fight for our country, particularly in World War I and World War II, because back then we were more of a Christian country. But I'm sure to a certain extent that still continues today. Lots of soldiers who are Christians who sacrifice themselves for other people.
Yeah.
That scripture, John 15:13, what greater love than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends?
Yeah, and that is the love that people continue to show by serving in the military, by laying down their lives, risking their lives to defend others. It's and obviously I think we should learn from them as Christians, because that is the love that Jesus called us to show. That was his command. This command I give you: love one another. And the greatest love is in service of others, in giving our lives for others.
Sometimes the cost that we pay isn't necessarily death, but if we're standing up for what's right, if we're doing what Jesus would do, is going to cost us something.
Yes, it should cost us something. Yes. Well, yes, so in conclusion, this Remembrance Sunday, we remember not only people who died fighting for our freedom during the Second World War and First World War, but people who've died in various conflicts since then. And also, we need to remember the fact that Jesus gave the ultimate sacrifice when he died on the cross, and that sacrifice was given for our freedom.
Ways to keep in touch with the Berry Bunch. Visit our website and sign up to the Berry Bites newsletter so that you can be notified of all our videos, posts, exciting news and seasonal events.
Subscribe to our Vimeo and YouTube channels, where we post brand new homegrown video resources every week.
Join us on Ding Dash, a fabulous place that connects people from all around the world. It's social media as it should be. Come join the rebellion.
Like us on Facebook, where we hang out and post extra things to encourage and inspire you. We're on Twitter and Tumblr too. You can also follow us on Instagram, where we share extra photos from the world of the Berry Bunch.
If you've enjoyed any of our posts or videos, share it with a friend and encourage them too. And if you want to encourage us, then like, comment and share on what we make. To help support the ministry we freely provide, check us out on Patreon, where you can support us financially as you feel led.